the Bills, that was their defense's best performance of the year. And I think, the weather played into it a little bit. It helped out, but it's like the Bills defense finally showed up and they lost the game. Like, when does that happen? When the defense has had a performance like that and the offense hasn't been able to hang up. But just to put a bow on the Bills game, I think there's no doubt they had to go for 2 there. And
yep, I agree.
They made the call. He was wide open. Josh yanked the throw and didn't make it. He makes it, 99 out of 100 times. It was a bummer that he didn't make it. I didn't love the fact that he was under center, but the play call, they had a guy wide open.
That. Why is that? Why is that different?
At least for me, like if I'm under center on a 2-point play, then and I'm not faking and rolling out to the right or left side, I just think everything is sped up and you're a little bit uncomfortable. Whereas if you take it in shotgun, you just feel a little bit more comfortable in the pocket. You're able to survey a little bit more. You have a little better feel on what's happening with the rush in front of you. And so even when they called the play and they went out there, it's not a run. They're not going to run it in that situation, right? So it's like the play action doesn't matter a lick, but look, they schemed open a good play and just didn't hit it. I just think they had to go for 2 because that kicker, Badgley, it's like he's new to the team. This is an extra point 2 weeks in a row that's been missed. That one got blocked. It sure looked like it was low, went right into Jalen Carter's hand. So I think you leave the game into the hands of Josh Allen, not the kicker that's been there for 2 weeks. And unfortunately, Prater went down and he's been pretty reliable this year. But the argument against it is, but Jalen Hurts didn't complete a pass in the second half. And Philly's offense was really struggling in the second half. But what would everybody be saying if you put the game in the foot of Badgley and he misses it or it gets blocked?
Why would you not let Josh Allen try to win you the game? That's what we'd be saying. I think that's the thing too. And not only that, the momentum there, the drive you've just gone on. I'm a big, when you're in those moments, just go win it. Here it is. We're obviously, look at the play. The guy's wide open. It's a touchdown. And like you said, a touchdown. It's a 2-point conversion. So everything went the way it should. Josh had the one moment, like you said, out of 100 where he just made a bad throw. The guy's wide open. They should win the game with it. It was a great call. It was the right call in the sense of going for it. And so I think they just didn't execute it. And the reality is that's football. You know what? There's a lot of moments where you just don't execute and you needed those big moments. But here's what I love that I think is a positive that I would say in that situation, Fitz, is that you were in a gotta-have-it situation against, regardless of what people have said about the Eagles all year, this defense is real, and they've been real all year, right? Forget about the offensive part of the conversation. In a gotta-have-it situation, you found a way to go all the way down the field, score, go for a 2, get the guy open, have the moment to convert it and win, and you didn't do it. But here's the truth. You're going to the playoffs, and I love a Josh Allen after a mistake, after getting hit hard, after he throws a pick early in the game. I feel like this is one of those moments where Josh Allen right now is just revving up Superman, right? And he's like, you know what? Give me another op to make sure my team wins. So I think when you walk out of this game, I go, defense is stepping up. They've played better and better. To end the season, they've had some moments where you go, okay, with this kind of defense, they can win a lot of games. I feel good about him, at least to go compete and let Josh do his thing. So defense is stepping up. Josh Allen's pissed off. I don't know if you have a better scenario for Buffalo, honestly, and you're relatively healthy.
To add to that, Brandon Cooks made an enormous catch. Shavers made an enormous catch. So it's like you have guys that are out there making plays. So I think you're right in that. My question to you, so they did this last year. They're really not playing for a whole lot in this last week. Other than maybe a seed up or down, but they won't really know that as things are going on. So last year, Josh played a play to extend his streak. I think he's at 126 regular season games right now that he's started, which I know he takes a ton of pride in. And with his playing style is unbelievable that he's able to do that, playing through a broken hand last year, probably another million things that we have no idea what's going on. I think he broke his nose this year, if you remember that. What's your thought, since I have never been to the playoffs, as we've stated 9 times on this podcast, today only, What is your thoughts on rest and how important it is to go into that first wild card weekend playoff game, not completely healthy, but a week's rest healthy, or to go into it keeping some momentum, winning a game, having a good taste in your mouth?
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see what the true statistics say of the teams that have rested, teams that haven't, and really what their success level lies. Because the reality is, for a long time in this league, we have to remember the 1 and the 2 seed got bye weeks. And so those two teams, whoever was the 1 and whoever was the 2, like it was a crazy high percentage. One of those teams usually ended up in the Super Bowl. It was pretty good odds that they'd have a chance to at least be in the championship game, if not the Super Bowl. And so you're not going to have great data that's going to say resting, not resting is going to lead to Super Bowls or championships and those kind of things. What I will say is in 2017, with Sean McVay, our first year here in LA, we were absolutely unbelievable as a football team. Like that was actually in 18 and 17, we were good. But in 17, when you talk about point differential, like we were blowing teams out. Offensively, we were all off the charts. Todd Gurley was the best player in football, in my opinion, there in that season. And he was unbelievable. And then, you get to week 16, 17 at that time. And we rested all our guys, and we waited to go play the Falcons, who we were a better football team than. We got beat at home, and it was the worst game we played all year. And you can say we were rested, but we played like crap, and it was not a great game. So I look at that example. There's some others when I was in Cincy, and then I look at our Super Bowl year and the year we won the Super Bowl with the Rams. And I will say this. Now, granted, we had stuff to play for. We had a chance to win the division and win the 2 seed against the San Francisco 49ers. And we went to overtime and lost. And I will say that game, playing toe-to-toe with them, who we thought they were playing their best football at that time of the year, I thought as a football team, it's kind of what I said about Buffalo and Josh Allen this week. We lost that game. And yeah, you barely lost, and you say, oh man, you're devastated. I thought we walked out of that game so pissed off, but also so confident that, man, we were up big. We were winning by 3 scores at one point in this game. We let it slip away because we made mistakes. But dude, we're built for this. Like the way we responded, the way we really came out and played in that kind of game, and really felt like, hey, you know what? This is the kind of football. It's going to take us playing our absolute best for all 4 quarters and in the game's biggest moments for us to win it. And I thought that the team moved forward with a whole different vibe from there. We ended up becoming the 5 seed. We ended up, winning the division and becoming the 4 seed. So we hosted the Cardinals and played one of our best games of the year that next week. So I would say that I understand. I think it's different. I think if you have a football team that needs some guys healthy, like you got a couple guys banged up. I look at the Rams situation, right? Now they can't win the division or be the 1 seed. They're playing the Falcons, Monday Night Football, and then you come back and you have a game that really means nothing. That one's different to me because you got a Devontae Adams that has a hammy. You have Puka, who, if Devontae's not back, we need him healthy. He takes a ton of hits. I think that's a different situation because they got some guys that it's like we need to be healthy. You think of who they've kind of had out. But I think if you're healthy, you know what? I think it's one of those things the coach has to decide, do we feel like we're playing really good football, and do we want to take a break from that? Because I think if you're hot, you need to keep playing. And if you don't really feel confident one way or the other about it, then rest them, and that'd be your mantra. But I just think there has to be a mindset behind it. And I think that's what you got to pitch the guys to. Believe it or not, even though we're big, strong athletes, we do well when there's direction and there's a reason. And so whatever the reason is, you need to be committed to that as a head coach and say, this is the reasoning and this is the messaging and this is how we're going to approach it. And we got to believe in it. And I got to sell my team that this is the reason why we're doing it. If we're playing or we're resting, I got to have everybody in this organization believes without a single, just even little bit of doubt, this is the absolute best plan for our football team. And I think that's the key. It's how you sell it.
And I'm just looking at some of these games. Yeah, I think it's a great moment that you guys had against the Niners, but it's like Jets versus Bills, right? So will they get anything out of that game? Do you play? Are you a guy that's saying you're either in or you're out? Like, do you play the starters for a half and then pull them?
If you're doing that, you're telling the guys we're playing. Like, this is it, guys. We're going to go win this football game. We feel like staying sharp is the key. And at halftime, I'm going to yank you out. In 2009, was a Cincinnati Bengal. We'd won the game. We'd won the division. We went to New York to play the Jets, Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan and the Jets. And I'll never forget, we go into that game and they played us and told us, hey, we're probably going to come out at some point in the game. I thought that was a terrible, like, why are we even discussing this, right? So we go into this game and it's like, we're not really game planning. We're going to play you guys as long as we feel like it's, get some snaps in. We go into the game, and I thought it was a half-ass effort by our team. Like, it just wasn't great. It was an ugly game. And then, lo and behold, the next week, who do we end up with? The
Played
Jets
them again, right?
At home in Cincinnati. And Darrelle Revis and the New York Jets defense was unbelievable. And we got whipped at home in a game that we didn't feel like we should lose by any means. And so I do think that that's tough. I don't like mind games, and that's my point. I don't like mind games, and I don't like, hey, we're going to half in, half out. We're either going to go whip the Jets' ass or we're going to rest our guys. That's it. Like, there's only one or two ways.
Yeah. And just the other thing to add to that is it'll be more than likely the last game at Highmark Stadium for the Bills before they move into the new digs. So I think they're wearing red helmets too.
Did you get your season tickets yet or no?
You know what? I had the conversation with the guy. I just saw they sold out all their PSLs, which is insane. But I'm still thinking about it.